The story. Although I have a feeling this is going to be separate from the daily vlog because I really want to tell this story and a lot of people won't get this far into the vlog. Yeah, I know, I'm not a makeup vlogger. I don't really know what I'm doing. One of the things that I like to talk about occasionally, and today I'm going to be talking about it because I'm doing my makeup, and because I have like spots that are on my forehead. I did not develop those until I started taking the antidepressant that I'm currently on, which is sertraline, or Zoloft, generic Zoloft. And almost immediately when I started taking Zoloft, my skin got darker on my forehead. And I use, vitamin C serums and all sorts of things, and they just stayed. No matter what I've tried, they've just stayed. At one point, I lowered my dose slightly and I noticed that they did get lighter. So I have a feeling that if I went off of sertraline, that they would go away. But if I went off of sertraline, I would be incredibly depressed. I would hardly be able to get out of bed. I would struggle through every part of my day and I would be really irritable and short-tempered. I know that you have probably heard people talk about antidepressants, and there's a lot of people out there that will post things like a picture of a forest, and then they'll post something like, you don't need antidepressant medication. What you really need is to get outside with nature and exercise more, or to eat right. And the thing is, when I exercise a lot, like in college, I spent about 7 hours a day exercising just because, like our kids, I had a ton of energy and just needed to go. So I would swim, I played rugby, I did martial arts, I went to the gym at 5 a.m. every morning, I went running. I did a lot of stuff, and I surfed. I was in really good shape. I was still clinically depressed. And I was eating well and doing everything right, doing everything you're supposed to be healthy. And I was still very much clinically depressed. For some people, those things do work, absolutely. But if you really have a chemical imbalance in your brain, then medication sometimes is, oh, there it is, I'm looking for this all over the place. Then medication a lot of times is the only thing that will help. That is my experience. Like I had 3 years back then of talk therapy, and talk therapy is wonderful. I have an amazing therapist now that I talk to, and she's amazing and it helps. But again, I would still be clinically depressed if I didn't take 200 milligrams of Zoloft every night, which is the maximum dose. It's something that I know there's stigma around, and that's one of the reasons I'm talking about, because I don't think there should be. Antidepressants, where is this? Where's my thing? Oh, here it is. Antidepressants drastically improve my quality of life, and the quality of life for my family, because I'm not a good person to be around when I'm not taking my antidepressants. I'm just exhausted all the time. It's not my favorite thing. And the thing is, it's been shown that people who have ADHD have not high enough levels of dopamine. It's one reason why if you have a kid that has ADHD, or if you have ADHD, there's that like drive for constant stimulation, for that rush of dopamine, because it's something that our brains and our bodies need, but it's something that it doesn't work right in us. That is why I would rather be on sertraline than have the dark spots on my forehead disappear, because I would rather be alive and living a happy, full life than not be and have perfect skin. I've read that that's actually like a really rare side effect, which yay for me, I've always had rare side effects from just about every medication I've ever taken. The other thing that I want to talk about is so if you try one antidepressant, it's kind of like this with ADHD meds too. If you try one and it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that antidepressants don't work for you. If you have depression, it means that medication wasn't the right medication. Which is, I feel like, always a thing that's a little bit scary and intimidating about. I think the caffeine's kicking in and my brain's starting to work. Yay, caffeine. It's something that's always a little scary, both with ADHD meds and with antidepressants, because they work differently. The effectiveness can be different, very different for different people. The side effects are different for different people. So like in the past, when I was younger, I took amitriptyline. I've taken nortriptyline. And when I was younger, those worked fantastically for me. When I went back to my doctor after having kids and as an adult, I told him that that worked fantastically for me. So he put me on it, and it made my resting heart rate 120, which was super, super unpleasant. And so he took me off that, and we tried Zoloft, and Zoloft worked for me. Obviously, antidepressants aren't for everyone. Not everyone needs antidepressants, and that's awesome and amazing. But just like I take synthetic thyroid hormone for my thyroid so that my body functions, my brain chemistry isn't quite what it should be. And so antidepressants make life so much better than life would be without them. Oh, mascara. I keep losing things that are right in front of me. The thing is, I've heard people say, like, once you start taking them, you have to take them for the rest of your life. And I mean, if I was diabetic, that's how it would be too. There's a good chance I'll be taking my thyroid. Oh, this fly. There's a good chance I'll be taking my thyroid medication for the rest of my life. Is it ideal? No. But I don't really expect that my brain is going to suddenly start manufacturing serotonin or dopamine effectively. I'm waving this fly away. He's driving me up the wall. This chair is really loud, isn't it? Today, I left my hair tied downstairs. My hair is getting so close to being ponytail length. It's not there yet, but it's grown a lot. Anyways, so I guess that is my, I don't know, PSA for the day. I've just over the years seen so much shaming of people over antidepressants. And I mean, if that's how you feel, fine, don't take them yourself. But they really help some of us. They really help some of us lead a full and meaningful and not incredibly depressed life.